He had just entered the door and met the dragon devil because of the exhaustion the day before. See them again this time. She was angry for an hour, and then left. What did our hero do to her? Bang Domination startled. I can't see the surest side. Probably laughing for an hour. It was obvious why she was angry. Long kneeling lady looking for long sand to treat guests like Sao. What kind of guests do you count as? Long kneeling and cold answering why. Can't help but be stunned. Most likely, she is angry. But a little thought. The idea that she Theo Long 9 learning. To be entrusted with responsibility. The power is not bad. But now, looks like she still doesn't understand some things. He laughed and told her. In business or in family relations, they all have to be calculated based on benefits. If you are as angry as you are, why does it exist in the world? Eating humans for this benefit. Compared to you. So, that's a little bit more mature. After he knew I was planning. Without saying many words left. And sometimes it's a kind of power. At least next time I won't make it as easy. So, hate does not help you. Benefits are the strongest relationship. We reject hatred. Is it okay to talk business? He just finished. There was a quiet voice speaking. Probably Mr. Let the old man talk to you. Even I am being planned by you. Then these are mine. How can I talk to you? If not, I know your source. I thought you were a monster. 1,000 years in the wilderness. Long 9 calmly stepped out and mocked him. Long 9 is coming now. He sees the worst. There was a ray of joy in his eyes. Yesterday, he clearly saw his own heart attack. But in one night it was no more. All of the air shows no signs of injury. I see people coming. He did not pay attention to Long's gaze. Looking straight at Long 9. 9 countries that do not give young people a chance, Sao. I also feel that 9 countries praise me so much, it can be compared to 9. Time medicine still has that playful attitude. Long 9 finally lost patience, angrily interrupted. Enough, don't say too much. What are you doing here today? 9 less angry. I just want to find a library. A place of comfort. I don't know where the 9-year-old is. Why should the old man help you? Long 9 did not bother to ask again. Most likely, I am not in a hurry to hear him ask. Calm down and laugh. These are all people who owe us, Sao. More, it's also convenient for our supervisors. Not Sao. Long 9 can't help but feel terrified. This guy has everything in his hands. Why know well? Last night, looking for Long, you fell into a passive position. I don't know when I'll start a war with you. The lost have no fixed place. Not being careful will cause a great war between the 2 great nations. Therefore, we must monitor the lost. So what's this kid up to? He's been around for 100 years. He was joked by a boy. He's really unhappy. I see in the eyes of Dragon 9. Most probably no. It should be to give them a little benefit. Then you can get what you want. Let's continue to negotiate. Come on, I'll give you some intelligence. In return, you give me a home. No holes, right? Your heroes have more intelligence than your potential. Long knelt to hear him say that and laughed. Most people don't care what she says, even though she is not the owner. He looked straight at Long Nine and waited for him to speak. Long Nine thought for a while to speak up. What news do you say? Probably the best. Finally, his goal was achieved. You probably don't know. Yu Min Cup sent people to go to hear this news. All three of them were immediately terrified. It's impossible, they haven't received any news yet about this. Do you have proof? We have no evidence though, but that person's appearance is a bald man. His father called him the father. Bald figure. It sounds best described. Long Nine knows who he is. Angrily read out a name. It takes a long time to calm down. It must feel very clear. Long Nine has just been released. Vote for 9 countries. Who has an enemy with the bald man Kier? It's just enmity. One of his eyes is destroyed. Long sighed and said, I'm sure glad to hear this. They are afraid they have no enemies. If this happens, it's easier to deal with. The false love, he sighed. 9 raw pitiful compression. Long 9 in the eyes still contains rays of hatred. Keep your hands open, and he has something to deal with. If you could tell the shape of the Kier. The old man believes in you. 100 yards from here, there's a place of death. You guys go there. Where did you see the devil? Achieve the most certain goal. And he laughed with his mouth open. Thank God he is in Thailand right now. Probably in the family. Long 9 heard the news. I can't stay calm anymore. He was furious. A master ordered the family to fade the elders too. I want him to have a life without a life. This time he didn't follow the rules. To the old man's territory. Let him go. I am guilty of this blind eye. Except 15-5 level final battle. Long sought the protection. The most likely reason is that they have the courage to plot. I'm finally lost right now. To become the first family in Feng Lin. Even the Thai family and religion are not equal. However, there are only 4 of them. The people who set foot in the Zach Institute were the second test. The scene in front. I can't help but feel. We'll be here later. This place is architecturally majestic. Large garden. There are guards every time. They're all scaffold condensers. Treat this level. Even getting lost in the Hung Thin era can't be difficult. State domination. He looked at the guards in front of him with admiration. Their curiosity is most likely to speak up. Later lost the Hung. I'll give you a 5-man team. Every guard here is stronger than me. It's good that I can be one of them. How dare you dominate such players? Dare to respond. Probably, mister. You don't just joke about other people. But I also despise myself. The butler is not worth it. With the nature of the eagle, the leader is at most cultivating to the 6-weight gas capacitor, where I'm only supposed to be a junior guard. You can't be a leader. I advise you to pee. Don't dream of being a family. Everybody raise their heads. He is the Dragon Master, and the Dragon Kneel is coming. Long kneeling since the most certain of his plans. Potential Long, not a good face. This time more contempt. To hear her words. Is the reward and the leader only knows how to bow? But most likely the human, he never ate the flesh of others. Straight face. Long lady. Have you ever heard the phrase "don't bully poor kids"? Your words are a little excessive. What heroes don't bully poor teenagers? It's all about comforting people who dream in the middle of the day. Just comforting yourself. If it's a big family, there must be a lot of potential. This life passed away. You think it's based on a little bit of your intelligence. To find Long, the guards are good at making sow. Even if you claim to be king. It's just a frog sitting at the bottom of a well. Listening to Long Devil Sports endlessly criticizing himself. The worst thing in the world is that I can't stop. The frog sits at the bottom of the well. The road is the queen from the Holy Land. Celestial Universe Empire. They are together. In his eyes was a small speck of dust. The lake is potential. The base turns to the old lady. Lend me some of your spirit stones. Get spirit stone in hand. Most probably jumped to the ceiling. Look around. Long battle table 3 levels final battle guard. Just set out. Long and Long kneeled in surprise. He knew the strategy of Long 9. I can't wait for you two. They're amazed. Most likely, jump down. In hand seal. Just briefly. The whole little yard everywhere started to vibrate. There are 9 golden-headed dragons. Suddenly out of the ground. Roar echoing through the forest. Cause not small static. In secret 7 monastic home preaching. Suddenly he opened his eyes to the scene in front of him. Horror. Someone is fighting. Maybe the devil. Not true, he can't have that kind of bravery. Same form in potential Long. The Long 9 also sees anomalies. It's very scary. He realized that this was not the map he had laid out. His battle power is not that strong. Black wind paint side. A young man standing in front of the cave. He also looked at the forest in question. What happens in the city? Maybe the plan goes ahead. It's not. The elders can't be so blunt. What is it? Everybody's got this anomaly. Make the whole business. But most likely, they remain calm. Transform the decision. The 9 golden dragons returned to the small yard. Go to the ground. The light slowly appeared on the city. Long kneeling, still not out of fear, stammered. What are you going to do? Surely you must not despise me. Most probably not paying attention at all. She reverently turned towards the usual divergence. Lady, I just saw the dragon battle is only 3 levels of battle. I'm afraid I can't protect the lady. So we've raised the battle to 5 levels. 9 Tian Ban long battle. It costs a lot of spirit stones. Please blame the lady. To hear the words of the mortal. The 2 dragons finally couldn't calm down. 5 cups of wine. A family in a remote place. Someone can arrange a 5th level match. Maybe it's 5 cups of wine. 5 cups of battle throughout the Celestial Empire. Not many people know how to show you. Even in the 7 kingdoms, not many people can do it. But he can upgrade the final battle in the blink of an eye. Look at the shock of the 2 of you. Distractions are often known. Most likely, This was deliberately humiliating. They agreed, as he replied. Track the butler. You didn't get my consent this time. Use so many stones. Deserve to be punished. But your love is kind. It's not to blame. Leave the two behind. Long and long kneeling in terror. Probably with the lost ones. Turn around and leave. They just left. The 9-year-old came to him and immediately asked, "Who just showed up?" You to look at each other. Long finally calmly replied. Probably the butler. Sure. He just needs to be a great warrior. You have to master each level. More to practice. A weakness in heaven. My whole life, I have only been able to perform 3 levels of combat. He was so young. I could have given you 5 cups of wine. That's a genius. You invited him here. I have something to tell him. In a small family on campus. Long 9 made a teapot on the stone table. A moment later I was most sure. Long kneeling and Long master coming together. Open your mouth. Maybe he would invite you to sit down. Long 9 is the oldest. He now claims to be a brother. Probably the most. You can see it. He's very interested in talent. It's just that most people don't notice. He takes the extraordinary power. Age doesn't matter. I don't know what happened to 9. Long knelt down in anger and spoke up. It's just that Long 9 heard the CA9. His is very excited. Happily replied. He called me for an hour, so I'm not going around anymore. You can arrange 5 cups. This ability should not be lost in the hands of the little family. It's like getting lost and coming to me. Except 16 female thieves. Wait a minute, Long 9 continues. I think he's coming for us. He assured me he will be well served. Even if the owner sees you, he is welcome. What Long 9 said. Long and Long kneeled in panic. The palace is the location with the greatest compensation. Potential Long. The address is higher than the elders. I think most people can sit in that position. But most certainly not rare of strange. There's not a ray of excitement. I mean, the conditions don't matter. Of course, in the project, his calculation while displaying the battle. He predicted this. A man who can display 5 battle glasses in the empire. There's no one who doesn't want to take the family. Even the emperor must respect. Of course it doesn't matter. As long as you can do it. You can have any condition. So I want her to bring me tea, pour me a foot wash. It doesn't matter. Most probably deliberately teased, pointing to Long kneeling, said. Haha, I'm kidding, don't worry. In the distance, I don't have a great lady. I don't want to serve any more people. What I want is a peaceful life. Hear the condition of why. There are 3 people waiting for you for a moment. With the power of why, all the families want to get their hands on it. As long as he wants to be paid, he can get it. But he doesn't want to condition himself. That's a little bit unintended for you. Long 9 heard that without hesitation. I agree. Just have the potential. It's not just a peaceful life. but the eternal death of the lost family for peace of mind. So from now on, you are the master of the underworld. We will report this to the family. 3 days later, I'll take you to the family headquarters. Take a sip of the tea. Suddenly with a word. I didn't even want to be a cowboy. In the heart of Long Nine whole business, suddenly stood up angrily looking towards the most certain. You didn't just say. You're kidding the old man. Smiling for an hour. Most likely, suddenly serious. Look at Long Nine. If you had this offer before, I agree with you without hesitation. The conditions are just as we say. But that, the lady on her knees remembered what she said before. 15 times. 15 Lao Tzu will definitely take the lost family beyond. 7 families. Just finished. It is best to bring tea in a cup. Drink clean, then turn around and leave. Look at his back shadow. There's a little vibration on my knees. 1. 15. He wants to turn a small family into a big family. More power than others. This is the dream. Even though he has the power to be wise. But this is just not possible. But he showed such confidence. It made her a little speechless. 9 faces you don't understand. He looked at the dragon devil and asked. What the hell did you just talk to him about? Long knelt and said nothing. Just look at the shadow left by the most ordinary. Long waited for a while. It's all about Long Nine. Transparency of love. Long Nine shook his head. The old man told you. Don't hit people in the face. Tell people not to touch self-respect. You humiliate the lost. I don't blame people for wanting to prove it. Unfortunately, you have made us lose our ability. I have 5 cups of wine. There are 5 cups of wine. You should still associate with them. Probably at the same time after leaving. Directly in the direction of the usual divergence. On the way, he thought a lot. Such a good opportunity. They will be looking for lifelong protection. The lost will be safe. His ghost will also be removed. But the words Long kneeling said aroused the invincibility of. He had never conquered fate before. The devil is against heaven and fate. Take it for yourself. Now I want to help the lost. It's not just to get rid of ghosts, but also because of his magic. God wants to stop you. He is against heaven. His destiny is not in heaven. At one point he decided to take the family that had died. Become the most powerful family in the world. Probably pushing the door in. His face was filled with gas. The doctor returned, often lost and can't help but startle. A little confused, often asked. Maybe 9 people are looking for you. He invited me to look for long-term workers. Probably the most obvious answer. I usually get a little nervous when I hear that. She knows with her strength that she can go further. Should not be buried in the lost family? But she was a little disheartened by him. She grinned and said, "Congratulations. You must have money there." Looking at them, their faces filled with pain. Sigh what I resisted him for. For what hears this word? People can't help but be startled. But in my heart I am very happy. No matter what, I came back to the room. After that, I am the head of the family. Everything is owned by me. Do not interfere. Within 15, I want to make my family a stronger family. Potential long. Just finished, he quickly disappeared, leaving only 3 stragglers who often panic. He stood there for a long time because of his words. 10 days in 10 days today. One AI sees the body of the most ordinary track. He tried hard to practice. At night release your blood to suck the force. And his goal is the crown prince. So 10 days. The Jews are always sad. The number of government guards is decreasing. Most people have tried to bring your blood to the family. Force absorption, but there's the master of magic, the elders. Many times it was almost discovered. He doesn't come anymore. Today as usual. Most likely, release your blood to absorb the force. I can't wait to meet an unexpected person. It's on the roof with the scouts. Let your blood follow your body. Detect the situation. After a while his body stopped at a motel room. My blood flowed softly to the window, towards the inside of the probe. In the room, a large Han delegation looked at the black Kier. How did the lady find out? A little girl next door opens her mouth. The most unexpected is female. I can't believe that Black Mountain Feng despised their lost family. To this extent, he sent a woman to deal with them. Suddenly I heard the woman screaming. Zhao to holds a pen here. The girl carefully drew the sketch on paper. Just for a while, all of the sand has appeared in front of you. You look closely. This is the structure of the university. There are heavy guards here. These 4 corners have the scene of the Gaumaster. The nimble woman pointed to the subordinate schematics. Lady, this is how we're going to attack. I'm afraid I didn't get to the door. I'm dead outside. Don't worry, we have a cup to support us. We just need more chance of turbulence. To rush in to catch stray feces. Kill the lost. The little girl spoke up. I think it's probably most surprising to hear this. What caught the lady? What is she doing with the lady? 17 interrogations. Lady, there are words you don't want to hear. But it's about the lives of the brothers. So we must say. I hesitated a little, and the guy kept talking. Lady, despite the lack of farmers with ties to you Mincup. But this is your potential. If we're guilty, they'll have a problem. If you leave us alone, there is only the way to die. You are still afraid to die. You feel like you're worthy of the Sao camp. For treatment and revenge for the farmer. Even 10 lives are worth it. Back down. All do according to the old plan. No AI is commented. To hear the words of the female servant. A voice of anger said. The subordinates stepped down in unison. At this time, the little girl next to me spoke up. Miss, you are so good. There is a very good attitude of the owner. Meaning if you are healthy. It's much better than us. Is there anyone in Black Mountain who is not dressed? There aren't that many interrogators. Don't comfort me anymore. I only hope after this trip, you can have a long head. Cure the disease for women. Most likely, people outside listen to them with a little appreciation. With just a few words, you can beat the army. Not bad. But they are here to harm the lost family. Must be dealt with. Say it and act immediately. My daughter is in agreement with reality. It's two different things. Someone else told you. The chief can cure the disease. Who? Don't panic. I have no malice. I just want to invite you two to come with me. To clarify some things. The woman in black stands guard in front of the girl. The evil looks towards the worst. Of course she didn't notice. I don't know when this guy showed up. If you are an enemy, she's probably dead. Who are you? The best way to laugh. I am the butler of the earth. Listen to what he says. The woman gritted her teeth without saying two words. Get out immediately. If you are a lost man, die. Look at her, the worst kind of thing. I don't think of her that way. It's a 9-dimensional thick weapon. Power like that. You can totally share the same scene. To fight a battle. Unfortunately, in front of her is a... It is your blood. Not saying many words, he created it in his hand. A rose-colored dagger flies towards the female. Two people are immobile. At this point he hugged her back. It's morning. The two guards saw his most powerful body pass by. Take it with you. The two women showed understanding smiles. Loud teasing subpoena butler. You worked hard last night. At the same time, Long Kneeling also saw him open his mouth of contempt. Men are the same. Probably bring you back. Go to your room. Aggressively thrown to the ground. Close the door and sit on the chair.